there are a lot of indigenous or local coping strategies. I call them coping strategies as well. These days I call it, I guess, risk management. I've just come from a resilience workshop, so we may use those terms as well out there. And that is a huge starting point. It's always been my starting point. And the flip side of that, with DRR, there are a lot of groups out there who are managing for disasters they know will come. In a dry area, there's going to be a drought. Not this year, maybe next year. Not next year, the year after. And they are really detailed coping mechanisms. And unfortunately, sometimes we go within our rapid tools and we find we get a snapshot in time which doesn't tell the depth or the detail. So we might get that snapshot up there, but it's really important to unpack it. Because then that's what we did in some of our Chicano work. We actually unpacked how and why they manage trees. And first of all, they didn't trust this funny idiot Irishman. So they just tell, well, this tree is important. Okay. Next time I ask, why is it important? They say, well, the leaf is important. And then I get more and more and more detail. We did this for a whole range of resources, and the amount of detail there is staggering. And I think there's a lot of effort we can put into learning from that in many parts of the world. Lastly, I look at this DRR work, it's in the ecosystem management program, as sort of DRR and ecosystem-based adaptation are very closely linked. We can't really separate them. And I think it's really good that it's in the same program so we can make those sort of links. Equally, it's going to link into the concept that is coming up more and more in this Congress is that term called resilience. And I hope we're going to come to some sort of better understanding of resilience, because that would certainly be an important tool, conceptual framework to link it to disaster risk reduction, as it is in ecosystem-based adaptation. That's really all I've got to say. I'm really. One other thing is I think Paul implied it. DRR, I think 3 or 4 years ago, a lot of people in IUCN, DRR, why is IUCN working with DRR? That's all about refugees and concrete walls. And then you go to the global platform on disaster risk reduction, and then people say, DRR? Ecosystem stuff with DRR? No, that's all about concrete walls and refugees, nothing to do with environment. Now it's time to really come together, and it's great that the work of Karen and Radhika and others is to start to help that come together. And sadly, it's also coming together for a sad reason, because of, as Paul said, there's many, many more disasters happening as we speak in the USA, fires everywhere, and so forth. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any final comments from some of the participants? If I could perhaps ask you just to think of, I'm going to have you do 2 last things before leaving. One is we have a nice evaluation form for you to fill out. There's a sad guy, which is number 1, and a happy guy, which is number 4. So according to instructions for all the questions, if you're happy, you put a 4. Yes, and if you're not happy, you put a 1, okay? So if you could please fill out the evaluation form. I want you to think about just one word that you are thinking about that you're bringing home. What's your take-home message from this workshop? So you're going to do 2 things: fill out the evaluation form, and think of one take-home message that you're going to tell the whole group before leaving. But once you're done your assignment, you get the little memory stick to bring home, and we'll be finishing up. So just 5 more minutes. Yeah, Hillary, please.
I'm sorry to but I just thought that now the president of the executive director and the managing director, that I should repeat what I say in area. I think
please, Hillary.
No, I think because I think what we've just seen today is the demonstration of how we as IUCN should work. That we have a commission who are the scientists that work to support the program at times where possible, but also to lead the program and identify new areas of work. And what we are seeing now in DRR is the result exactly of that. When the commission responds to a need out there, it generates a team of work that is scientific. The program picks it up and makes the program obvious. and then the members use the products to improve livelihood. What would then pay me out of this is for any member of that triangle plus our partners to claim ownership of it. This is our activity. Let us, get into personal territory. I just hope that we don't get there. Let me say we are achieving something together. So the youth program is now embedded in it. The partners are working we're working together. So this is all for the benefit of humanity. Because it should be taken as somebody's personal portfolio. But I'd like to thank you, for keeping this up the way that it has. And you're exploring and you can see that it was touching, in our global environment. Thank you very much.
I guess you already got your memory sticks, but it's nice of you to still fill out the evaluation form. I guess I'm too much. That's the memory stick with all the documents and all the presentations. Right? Well, you can go around the room and just one last take-home message from each participant. Jonathan?
Just a little bit of a response to some of the closing remarks that were just now. I agree with much of what's been said. But maybe there was one point there was slightly challenged, which is in response to the family on the hilltop in Ethiopia. The coping mechanisms that people have displayed in the past. I think it's very true that, for example, when we talk about climate change adaptation, people have been elected continuously for years. But it's said often now until it's become a cliche, but I think it is very true. The pace of change, whether it's because of climate or because of human-induced change, is much, much quicker. And as somebody who works at the local level with sort of resource-dependent communities all the time, they're finding it more difficult. Maybe they do have that capacity, they do have that knowledge, but because the changes are happening much more, they're finding it more difficult. So it's good that the way we're working is changing, we're having more integrated approaches because the challenge is becoming more urgent.
Is that what you take home message? I think that's a good one. Would you like to say one thing that you want to take home from today, just briefly? A couple of words.
This has improving my knowledge about disaster industry, addiction to national. I have the opportunity to work on the things.
Yes. CBCA. Is that fair? Yeah, CBCA. You've used the CBCA. Yeah.
Case study.
Yeah.
Assess the vulnerability and the capacity community in the country. I think that we need to develop it also with the GIS.
JS.
I always use GIS for the of the natural resources and for the problems with I think that just a good way sensitizing local community and local
Just a quick comment.
Yes.
Marianne being very modest. She's a real expert in GIS along with people in her centre. Just to, and they're member of the museum.
So just take home messages, maybe like 5 words, so you can summarize it. What is your take home message?
Actually, the way to approach is to manage integration.
Integration. Development, humanitarian, conservation. Okay. Please, Sam.
As a development country, we are fine with what we are doing at the moment in conserving our resources from the case study that have been through this morning.
Thank you. Kaka, would you like to say something since you were here this morning?
Just a few words on what and ideas that how I do also the ideas, but how I was more strengthened in these ideas. This conservation of biodiversity we can manage and reduce natural disasters.
Okay, the link to biodiversity.
Well, that's what I was going to say, that I think from now on, to me, DRR has nothing to do with these latest organizations, but even us that are involved in conservation is something that we could do. And later on, I sort of want to follow it up and see how we could make it one of the training programs that we want to offer in the administration.
We actually look forward to some kind of collaboration because we're always looking for local training partners and ideas and capacity building. It's an important part of also making this link. I'm there and science policy practitioners. Hillary, you have some.
Did I say anything more than I said? No.
No? Okay. Well, you have a chance now. 5 words.
That was good work, team.
1, 2, 3. You have 2 more words.
Good work, team. Keep it up.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. That's 5 words. Ms. Sodemoto, please.
I have so many chance to talk in my country, and I didn't have an idea, including the ERR and ecosystem till today. So
Okay.
I will try to tell all the people this idea, or maybe more not the idea, but how it should be worked out, and especially when I go to the disaster area, I'm very happy to tell them that it is very important that ecosystem and ERR are really not linked, but almost the same. Same thinking. So thank you so much for this wonderful event. I don't know how to thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the same line, like promoting communication and dialogue.
Communication dialogue, huh?
I think that's probably key to bring this ecosystem-based disaster risk reductions.
Okay, communication, that's another key word. Yes, please.
Prioritizing prevention over response.
Prioritizing prevention over response. Okay, that was also very nice. Good. Camille, please.
Till now, I just had an overview of what was DRR, and if I've been working with Norwegian, and now I've been more comfortable as a consultant.
Yes, please.
Yeah, today is my first time speaking in this group, so very interesting and very good for me. So after these meetings, when I come back to my institute, I spread this information to other person. So I hope to join, and I hope to make some role in the IUCN about the DRR. So my institute also hope to that. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. We say people last. Some of people, Radhika, even Mathieu, would you have some final take-home message, something you want to add?
Yes, maybe a quick word. I hope that you will keep on doing what you've been doing during these years. It's very important, even inside IUCN, that people consider the opportunity that disaster risk reduction approach and strategies give to the environmental system, to IUCN. We never had such a political audience. We never had opportunities to show the utility of ecosystem management for human development and security, and this very integrative and very innovative, very exigent approach in terms of quality, in terms of perspective, is to my point of view, one of the most important applications that our work might have in the coming years.
Iman Radhika? Final
For me, this was the first Pedro training that I attended with recent Pedro members, and we have to thank ICN for actually grabbing us for joining Pedro. So it's the power of partnership coming all together. I think that's what I definitely take from it, and I look forward to working more with you.
Thank you. Radhika, and then Pete?
I was just going to say that the last few days I've been stressed because I don't know when the time to do this. So I've been convincing myself and all my colleagues that even if 5 people turn up, they're the 5 people we want to know. Because you're the people who are going to work with us and help us champion this and strengthen this area of work. And having spent the day with you, going through this course, I'm really sure that we're on the right track. So I hope we keep in touch and find ways to work together.
Well, I have to say, Pete, when you first came in, you said, well, I'm only going to be able to be here for an hour because I have lots of things to do today. And he's still here. So I think that to me is that's the best compliment. And also Hillary was here for most of the day. And we have some very important people from IUCN. So that, for me, that the room is full. So I think for me, that's a success. And Pete.
Yeah, I was about to start with that, the fact that I have stayed the whole day.
Okay.
But okay. Yeah, no, thank you very much because you gave me an appreciation for the stay as well. Yeah, sorry, I take a little bit more time because I'm here standing now as a very proud chair of the Commission on Ecosystem Management. Very proud because it's an honor to work with people like Karen and Radhika and their team, because let's not forget there's a whole team of people behind those 2 ladies. The honor goes also in the first place, I would say, to Hillary, who had about 10 years ago, I think, Hillary, 8 years ago.
2005, huh? So 7 years ago.
7 years ago, vision to immediately do something with that from our commission. And then Karen was there too. And that is when, so Hillary had vision, started it off, Karen made it all happen. And then because it took such an important role, then also Secretary moved in. And Radhika very, very well contributed to the success of the group. So I think before I finish, those ladies and Hillary, they need an applause for your work. And thank you very much. What I like very much is especially, let's say, both Radhika and you are very, very knowledgeable about it. And so questions were readily answered, and you also put them in perspective the perspective of doing something. Not just, let's say, the academic work of describing and how bad things are and what tools we have, but okay, to do something finally to get a better situation for the people. What I missed a bit was the biodiversity aspect. But you already said it is important, biodiversity is part of the whole system. If you look at ecosystem-based adaptation in general, but especially in disaster reduction, there is implicitly biodiversity there. And it will, and depending on the situation, it will be more and more explicit. So this hands-on approach, that's something I take home for myself. That is good. And you already said this morning that all those people that are not here, they had made a mistake. We are a bit in a far off corner of the conference, and there could have been and there should have been more people, because it is really very important and relevant topic. So, having said that, there's only one thing. There's only one time in the last 4 years that I was the chair, I was really furious with IUCN. Really furious. Karen knows it because she was there. That was when the council shut down my proposal to have a facility for IUCN to have a kind of rapid reaction force in case of emergency disasters. I still haven't given up, because I think the idea is still very good to have this type of expertise of all of us here in case something happens, and that we immediately can mobilize people, not to say to put our finger to government, you're doing so and so and so, but offering this expertise to make a better product out of the response to that specific disaster. We call it, Karen and I, the READY initiative, which stands for Rapid Ecological Answer to Disaster Initiative. And I hope that maybe the second term I may be able to realize it. Thank you very much for coming, and it was a pleasure to meet you.
Okay, you should all have a memory stick now. If not, there are 3 left. I'll take your evaluation forms. We also have, for CEM, we have journeys for the rest of the forum. We have a risk journey. So other events taking place this week. We have a red list journey, one on ecosystem-based adaptation, resilience, drylands and islands. So if you're still around for a couple days, you can pick these up. We have these nice posters and more information on PEDR, okay? And I thank you, and I'd like your evaluation forms, and come and please take these materials. Thank you again for today. And thank you to the support staff also for your help with the computers, and to Camille for uploading all the documents. Okay, thank you.